My name's Kavita Oberoi, and I'm the founder and managing director of Oberoi Consulting. And what propelled me to set up my own business was actually missing out on a career promotion with the company I was working for at the time. I was approached to do Secret Millionaire, and it was actually the second time I was approached. The first time I was approached by the programme makers, I actually turned the opportunity down because I wasn't actually ready at that stage. And to get involved in charity work and social work, I think really, for me, it has to come from the heart. And last year I went out to Mumbai and was very inspired by the charity work that was going out there. And in particular by a lady who had moved to Mumbai, and she'd set up the National Spastic Society as a result of her own daughter being disabled and having no rights to education. And she's now changed policy so everybody has rights to education. So when I came back to England, I thought there must be something I can get myself involved in rather than just making money that is going to have a legacy that will benefit other people. So when I was approached the second time, which was literally another call out of the blue, I took up the opportunity. I didn't just want to do Secret Millionaire for the purpose of a social exercise for TV. I really wanted something deeper to come out for myself. And I was very lucky that I connected really well with the causes that I supported. One of them, Martha's Oasis, was running a Sisters with Voices programme, which is all about empowering young girls between the ages of 13 to 18, so they go on and aspire in life. And that connected very well with my own story. I'd had the empowerment from my mother to get an education. So I've now become a director with Martha's Oasis, and we're now trying to franchise a Sisters with Voices programme nationally. Oberoi Consulting provides IT solutions to support healthcare needs. So we work with primary care trusts, GP practices and pharmaceutical companies to help support the management of patients through IT services. I knew I had the ability and didn't want to be held down because of anybody else's opinions. When I missed out on promotion, I was told I would never be a leader, won't be able to manage, and won't be able to lead a team. But I knew, and I didn't want to go and work for anybody else, for them to tell me that I didn't have the ability. So it was really about proving others wrong. It's very important to build a very good brand, because in future that's where your future growth will come from, and it's important to spend time investing in your brand and exactly what you're delivering. And also later on, as you become bigger, you have to rely on that brand for your new innovative services that you may be having there, which weren't there initially. So it's good to have a good brand image. You really need to be careful and recognise some of the challenges and the pitfalls. So leadership is really, really important. Strong leadership and making sure processes and systems are in place for growth, so that when you do grow and you need people are managed properly and there's clear expectations and delivery, and so they will be part of the growth plan. So leadership is really important. Planning is very important, and revisiting the plan, revisiting the strategy and going back to the strategy to make sure everything is on track. Franchising and outsourcing is an important aspect of growth, and especially in the current climate, it's a good way of actually growing without incurring additional costs. So using outsourcing instead of looking at what you actually need, and perhaps looking at outsourcing where applicable. The other area which businesses should consider is strategic alliances with other companies. So it may be that you're in the same marketplace but you don't have the same competing products, and as a strategic alliance you can really benefit each other in a mutual relationship. The other thing that's really important is skills and attitudes, and I think it's quite difficult for entrepreneurs to really step back and not get involved in the day-to-day running of a business. So, there's a lot of changes that one has to go through themselves in order to grow, because naturally you want to do everything yourself because you believe you're the best person who can do it, nobody else can do it, you're a perfectionist. So there's a lot of challenges there with skills and attitude, and making sure that you prepare yourself for that. And a lot of the business is often in the owner's head. So it's really about downloading that information into paper and putting those systems there so other people can come on board and take on that training. There's such a fear of letting go and letting other people take control of the reins, but you come to a point where you have to, otherwise your growth is going to be stifled. But what I found as well is there needs to be good systems in place so you can measure that delivery, so you are getting your returns. Because otherwise, if that's not managed properly, then it can backfire. So my advice would be not to completely stay away, but have systems that help you manage the management team that are in place, and you've put key performance indicators there so that you can actually manage and track what's happening. The main challenges from a personal perspective were people management. I found that really, really difficult, and there's no books or courses out there that can teach you that, and I think you have to personally go through that experience, and you can do everything you need to do, but you will still find that the biggest challenge: motivating staff, retaining staff, putting development plans in place and staff still leaving, and everybody sharing in your vision. So personnel is the biggest challenge, but people are the biggest assets of a business that's growing. So that for me personally, that's been the biggest challenge. Running my own business has certainly been a worthwhile experience, and I have become a millionaire as a result of it, and I'm now running a very successful business. And at the moment, I'm actually using a lot of the retained profits in my business to look at other business opportunities. So I'm investing in commercial property, looking at other businesses that might do very well in the recession, such as serviced offices and meeting room space. So for me, it's now looking at the next level of, I've got to a certain level with this business. How can I now diversify and use what I've built to look at other business opportunities? In the current climate, I would encourage companies to continue to grow. One is that there is a lot of talent out there that is a lot cheaper. A lot of people very talented who are available and could really help you to progress your business. And it's really important that at this point companies don't lose good staff, because if they do, when we come out of the recession, they're not going to have the skill base. So it's really important that they continue to build their portfolio and perhaps get their staff working with them in different ways to help grow their business at the local level. And otherwise, when we come out of the recession, there's going to be missed opportunities. But it's a good time to grow, because if you can go back and set up different systems and foundations now for the next stage, that's really going to prove beneficial in years to come. What sets the business apart is really having a good brand, good expertise, and testimonials of what you've been able to deliver. So, you have got good case studies of how your work has impacted other clients. And it's really important that good customer relationships are built up, because for extended growth, it's probably going to come from your solid base of customers rather than new customers who may only buy short term. So building that reputation is very, very important. The most important thing is actually understanding your customers and understanding the client base. It's really, really important that feedback is continual with customers. So, and it's important that business owners don't become complacent, because what you may believe the customers want may not be necessarily be the case. So it's really important to keep on track of your customers and their customers' perspective and their needs. So that's really crucial. The other thing is leadership. Leadership is incredibly important, and it's very important for any growing businesses to put processes and systems in place before the next stage of growth. And those will be people management processes, there will be processes to do with actual running of the business, the finances, all of that is very, very important. And making sure that you have a very good brand image and expertise and reputation. Really is the key to growth.